There's this old poem written by St. John of the Cross called The Dark Night of the Soul. And it's been used for centuries to help Christians make sense of those moments when God can't be seen. It feels like he's not hearing our prayers. It feels like we can't experience him or touch him or reach him at all. We are completely shrouded in darkness. It's called the dark night of the soul. Mother Teresa famously struggled with this for years and years and years on end, not being able to feel or experience God. And at some point in the life of almost every Christian, we go through a dark night of the soul. You might be going through one right now where you're in such darkness that it feels like God not only isn't near, but that God is so far that it must be true that he does not even love you. And I just want to stop and tell you that that's not true. In fact, there's kind of a misconception when it comes to the dark night of the soul. The dark night of the soul isn't something that is a result of God's darkness coming over you or God's withdrawal from you that causes this darkness. The dark night of the soul can actually be caused by God's nearness and God's light. Let me explain it this way. Whenever you wake up first thing in the morning and your eyes have been closed all night, and then you kind of peek one eye open, you roll over and you turn on your smartphone. Well, that blinding light comes on you and you get little vision spots and you close your eyes and you get a headache. Well, it's because you've been so used to the darkness that the light throws you back into darkness. The same thing kind of happens with God. We are in such darkness as depraved human beings that when we have an encounter with the almighty perfect God, we can be thrown into darkness. When we see our sin and God's holiness, we can sometimes feel like it must be impossible for God to actually love us. When we catch a glimpse of our finitude and God's magnitude, it seems crazy to think that God could ever actually look at us and see us and know us. And this huge difference between us and God can throw us into this dark night of the soul where we despair because we feel like God isn't there. And I just want to tell you that if you are in the dark night of the soul right now, you don't have to worry that it's because God is withdrawn from you. It might be because God is drawn so close to you that you've been thrown into darkness by his wonderful light.